Alright, we're gonna be here a minute, so yeah, we all just need to hang out and chill for a second. So like a lot of things are probably gonna happen right now, and we're gonna talk about it. One of the things that we're looking for the MULN squeeze specifically is we want to see the price go up on no volume traded. We want to see it be at 50 million volume right now and it go to $5 a share on 5 million shares traded. Because typically every squeeze we've ever seen, the day that it went up the most in a day, like the GameStop day where it went up 450% in a day, was its most shares traded by a huge margin. And because the float was so tiny, it was probably one of the largest discrepancies between number of shares traded versus float ever witnessed. AMC had some pretty crazy days as well, but they had a massive float, so it made more sense. But the point is that as long, like, the whole theory behind the market is that they had 100 million shares to dilute when they let AMC squeeze. And so as it was squeezing, the 100 million that they're using to dilute is worth billions of dollars, and they're using high frequency trading to come in and suppress all the FOMO that was coming in with their dilution. And so, like every time, even AMC, its highest moving up days was the highest amount of shares traded, when in theory it should have been the least amount of shares traded on retail, because it proved that they were holding the stock as it was going up, and it just kept going up for days on end, or it went up so much in a single day. And so if you take that logic and you apply it to MULN's situation, they don't have billions of dollars to dilute. They don't have hundreds of millions of dollars to dilute. So, in theory, based off the math, like, it would suggest that everything that they could have diluted before now, except for David Mitchery's shares, have been diluted. And we should expect to see 250 to 300 million shares outstanding. And the difference between every other stock and this stock is when it starts moving up, the float should be entirely owned by retail. And so not only should it move up more than any stock we've ever seen move up, but it should be on next to no shares traded, because nobody's selling their shares. As long as there's no sales to share, they just have to let it keep going up. So when I say when it rains, it pours. Like when it comes to 100%, there's no reason it shouldn't go straight to 1,000% and then straight to 10,000% all in a single day. On the stock price. I just mathematically can't see it going no other way. Like unless you guys all got freaking sell limits already set at $50 and you guys give back half the company at $50 just because you're that desperate for a profit. That's the only universe in which it's maybe possible we don't break 100. But even in that universe, I still think we break 100 just because someone's coming in to buy that 50% you're selling, but they're going to try to take a profit as well. Like, I'm expecting the people that are buying in now to be the ones that don't need the profit. Like, we need the profit, but we understand what our value is, and we're not taking our profit until we get what we want. And what we want is everything, because it's what we deserve. Because they took from us everything. And us is so many fucking different people from so many different walks of lives. Like, this is the realest shit on the planet, people. There is no better group on the face of the earth than the MULN group. And we've been beaten up so bad. But if you understand that we're the same spirit, we're the same energy that created the GME group and the AMC group and the Tesla group, and we're just the new breed of it, like, we're prepared to die for this shit. You can't just take our money and think we're going to walk away. We can always go make more money. Money's out there. I'm tired of fighting the devil for my money. Everywhere I go make money, the devil changes the rules to where I got to do something more to get the same money I was getting before. This world's supposed to be getting a better place, not a worse place. And so I'm just so tired of fighting the devil. Like, this is the only way to kill the devil. And we got him. Like, I feel like the devil's powerful enough that if they really try, they can probably stop me from getting paid by Friday. But the 200 contracts that are still not expiring until January will still make millions of dollars. So, at the end of the day, like, nobody gets hurt. But, damn, if it doesn't pay by Friday, I'm going to be pretty angry. I'm going to be pretty angry. If that lawsuit doesn't start naming me by name and start talking about option damages and the fact that they're letting people gamble on these options, claiming that it's a free market, and then just rigging it, guaranteeing that these people will not get paid, and they're specifically doing it so specific people don't get paid, and they'd rather delay it and stop this person from getting paid than let it happen now and let the squeeze be less. But every day that they prolong it, the squeeze, just the number for everybody's number gets higher. If you were at $20 a month ago, you're at $100 now. If you're at $100 a week ago, you're at probably $300 now. Like, I know how this shit works. I mean, I'm pretty angry that we had to wait this long, but at the same time, like, if that's what it takes to get you guys to understand what situation we're really in, that's okay with me. Let those diamond hands harden before it starts moving up, not after. Everyone was talking about deep fucking value in their companies. Well, they've had years with billions of dollars in dilution capital to go do something and prove that they are the company that will flip this market on its head. MULN's the only one been making claims to actually do it. Best thing AMC ever did was make popcorn in the retail stores. What the fuck did GameStop ever do to prove that they're going to bring in $100 billion of revenue in the next 5 years? Nothing. MULN has dropped bomb after bomb after bomb saying that they could be everything and more. And we're just, like, it feels like the government's holding them back. It feels like whoever was the chairman of the board before David Mitry finally got that position was holding back. It felt like everybody just wanted to let David go out there and promise the world, which he does have, and then pull it back and make him look like a fool and a liar and a fraud. And he's the only one that's done the work to earn the exaltation Tesla has, or fucking Elon Musk has right now. And for 2 years, we've been fucking fighting this war. And it's fucking over, people. It's fucking over. Like, my biggest fear is that we only do 20% a day for the next 5 days before we squeeze 100,000%. Like, oh man. We got the Fed meeting coming up September 20th. That's 1 week. A week from tomorrow. I suspect we will squeeze before then so that they can have a moment of silence at the Fed meeting for meme investors and explain why rates will keep going up and how money is obviously going to keep getting spent because all these supposed young people are making money they don't deserve, and so we need to keep raising rates and things need to get harder before they can get better, but MULN just keeps on mooning anyways. Oh, doesn't that sound like a beautiful world? Doesn't that sound like the perfect world? The only way to redeem Damn, I forgot to fucking change my shit. You guys fucking paying to watch me from now on. I expect 1 million people to be watching by next week. Motherfuckers are paying to watch from now on. I've been accepting $100 a month for fucking too long. Even $1,000 a month would have been changing my lifestyle for at least the last 12 months. Brokest man in America, as a fact of life. How's our MULN looking? Where's our volume? We want volume. I wasn't trying to do that. Why you do that? Yesterday, it looked like we were going to close into the red as we started falling to like positive 4%, all the way from like holding at 10%. And then at the very end, we shoot up to almost positive 6%. In the after hours, we shoot up to 46 cents. And then at the very end of the day, and then it just continues to green. Don't expect the green to stop, people. Like, I can't promise how fast it all comes, but it's green from here on out. We going green, green. Again, the greatest confirmation that we own the float and that no one controls the stock price but us would to see the stock price go up by 1,000% on less than 100 million shares traded. Like, something like that would just be so damn convincing that we own everything and all we got to do is hold. But if we go up 1,000% and it's 10 billion shares traded, that's spooky. That doesn't mean I quit. It just means, like, fuck. Like, how can they trade 10 million shares 10 billion times? That's some bullshit algorithms they got going on. And it's obviously, like, would just edify that they're still creating the fake shares in the background. And if they're still manufacturing, printing fake shares, then it's just fake dilution, and there's nothing MULN could ever do to save us, and except for the lawsuit. So at the end of the day, if they're still cheating to beat us, and they do beat us, like, the lawsuit still pays us $1 trillion. We have to fight to the end, otherwise the jury won't love us. I'm down to break 66 cents in the fucking next 10 minutes. Let's fucking go. Supposed to be getting some rain here in Arizona later tonight. I welcome it. I love my monsoons. It's crazy how, like, a lot of people are still trying to defend Elon Musk, and no one's talking about how big of a deal it is that he cut all of his cars' prices by $20,000 across the board. It's a really big deal that nobody's talking about. Instead, they're talking about Elon's fighting the Jews. And it's like, okay, that's fine, but he's had a long time to do that fight. Like, let's talk about what he did to his clients. Let's talk about what he's doing to his investors. Things aren't looking pretty for Tesla investors. They got one last chance with FSD if they just dominate the whole market and make it cheap enough to where everyone buys it. And it can go, it's compatible for all cars. Like, maybe they got a leg to stand on, but otherwise their cars just get priced out when they need to use everyone else's technology to have the best batteries and whatnot. Like, no one's gonna want the Tesla unless you already, like, rich. And even then, you're only doing it because you love Elon. And I don't know how many of those people are gonna be left. The stock price seems to like it when I talk bad about Elon. What you doing? What you doing, Elon? I can forgive you, Elon. All you gotta do is come be our hero right now. Just say you're offering $1,000 a share from MULN for 51% ownership. Obviously, we're not gonna sell it to you, but as long as you start the party that way, I'll forgive you. It's totally legal. It's totally legit. You've done stuff worse than that and said fuck you to the SEC when they complained about it. Let's go. Let's go, Elon. Save the day. There's some wild price action, people. Like, normally when we go green, it's so volatile. But we just holding that 15% all day. That's pretty exciting news that the Republicans are doing an impeachment inquiry on Joe Biden. Like, you know they could have done it a long time ago, and you know they've been delaying it, and now that they're actually doing it, it just means something's forcing them to have to. And from what I've seen, I can't imagine any possible universe in which Joe Biden doesn't get impeached. Like, America's too angry. There's going to be too much evidence. And just like they were able to lie and create and say whatever they wanted in the Trump impeachment, we're going to be able to show all the truth in this one. Like, this is some fucking biblical shit right here, people. And it's not that the Republicans are doing it because they're great people. They're doing it because they have to. And so you definitely shouldn't love these people. You can support them in their fight. Do whatever you got to do. But, yeah, I'm just interested in the ending. I don't really care to see much of the drama. If there's some funny shit out there, I might share it with you guys. But, yeah, I'm ready for the change. Ready for the world where the devil's not on my back. A brand new world. Somebody says, "Hey brother, this is Oliver, Sitting Bull from X. You should come back somehow and start your space calls. I miss it. I guess you are shadow banned. You never come up." Okay, yeah. Yeah, I mean, like I said, MULN gonna do its thing. I'll let the FinTwit community have X. Let them lead the MULN Bulls wherever they want on X. And just know that the real ones are gonna find me. Because we know that the money's great, but, like, unless there's change with the money, it won't fix our problems. So we here for more than money. Everyone else talking about cashing out at $50, and it's like, I understand you're rich at 50, but what if rich isn't rich no more? What if hyperinflation is real, and what if they just been holding it back until everyone felt rich? You gotta be thinking, people. What if everything just quadruples in price, including your salaries? All of a sudden, whatever you cashed out for in the stock market doesn't look so pretty. Just find something that you want to marry and marry it. Something that can make all your dreams come true and never quit. If major market conditions change that change your opinions in the future, there's nothing wrong with that. But once you find something, it's all in all the time. There's this thing where I was talking about back in AMC days, after the main squeeze in late May, after it came back down to 20, I was like, well, like, they're just prepping for another war. Like, if they drop everything to low market caps, below the revenue potential and all these other things, like, they're just setting up for another war. And I started to think about how I would do it if I was them. And if I knew that, like, at one time, like, eventually everything had to squeeze. Like, back then I didn't know it was about MULN. And I didn't realize that there was a small company out there that was going to come with so much potential that it was going to create this massive fight. Like, I should have seen that coming, but, I mean, I was looking for it. I was waiting for it, but I didn't know it was MULN. But then the idea that I had was, if I was them, and this is back when freaking Jack douchebag from Twitter, Jack Dorsey, starts talking about saying hyperinflation's coming. It's real. Get ready, people. And so this is when I realized that, like, when this happens, like, Tesla might go up 200% from now. But the problem is that MULN's literally going to go up 1,000,000% if they hit us with the hyperinflation. Like, we go to $100,000 a share in the next 12 months if they don't hit us with hyperinflation. If they hit us with hyperinflation and they go print $2 quadrillion, like, we're hitting 7,150,000, $972 a share on MULN in the next 12 months. Like, this is a battle, people. Like, numbers are just numbers. It's all in context of what the numbers actually mean. You gotta look at it in context. What is happening in the world around you? What are they preparing for? Have you heard about the new lockdowns coming? TSA starting it up? It's not going to hit everywhere, but some countries are going to get totally locked down. Some countries aren't even going to be able to have the internet because they're not allowed to know what happened in America. America! Don't fuck with America, bro. What the fuck were you guys thinking? Think we can't crunch a couple numbers? Figure your fucking games out? Everyone loves to play the game if it's a battle, if it's a war. If you live like a king or you die at the end of it, everyone's down for that game. The great anointing. Damn, you guys so quiet. Ain't nothing to talk about? No news dropping out there? A week ago, fucking Russia moves its nuclear fucking bomb for the first time into military ready position. What more we gotta do to say rumors of wars? Feels like the Bible prophet has come full climax on that one. I don't know how to speak my mind because I don't know where I'm at. Like, I gotta know where I'm at as far as how many people, how much money. Because if I only have $1 million and I'm still all by myself, then it's like, okay, well, like I'll just start my algo trading and make my 5% a day, and I'll just live stream the whole fucking thing, show exactly what I'm doing, and as many people can copy me until they fucking shut it down. If I get $100 million, I mean, that's enough to at least get started on some big plan. But really, like, I'm looking for $1 trillion in potential, and then I can just do everything I need to in like 30 days, and then just be on vacation for forever. Not forever, but like I need a 30 to 90 day vacation for sure. For sure. Travel a couple places in the world where I might be welcomed. I'm down to go anywhere. Ain't no one able to touch me. People scared when I walk the streets. They close the doors, drop the blinds. Then you gotta hit and run. That's no fun. So in some of the recent podcasts, I can't remember if it was Tom Ballou or Jordan Peterson or what it was, but they're talking about how it sounds like crypto's gonna die and the blockchain is going to finally become relevant, because anything that wants to claim to be a news source, a government entity, a stock traded, a any type of verifier, authenticator, they're all going to have to create, there's going to be a blockchain, and everything's going to be connected and stored and perfected for forever, and there is no manipulation of data no more. It's going to become clean, very clean. And all the people that have been getting power and winning elections just by paying money and stealing stuff on TV commercials, all that shit's going away, people. Like, if you can't stand in front of a camera and convince people to like what you gotta say, you're gonna struggle in this new world. Especially if you're expecting people to listen. Money's no longer gonna be the thing that gets people to listen. You gotta do something more than that. And so, I'm not sure what my future holds. Like, part of me thinks that I should be perfecting everything this planet got to offer, whether it's technology, medicine, or anything else. And then part of me thinks that I should not be doing any of that, and rather proving to the world that I'm as good a human that's ever walked this earth, and just become the best professional athlete in a dozen different sports. Do some cool maths and science stuff, maybe invent a couple things, and really just show what it is to be an educated motherfucker. Be the combination of Achilles, fucking Einstein, and fucking Jesus all in one. So I don't know yet. I'm just gonna do whatever feels right in whatever moment I get put in. Every time I get put in a moment. And then once I decide something I can dedicate, let's say 6 months to, I'm just gonna spend 6 months in a dungeon. If it's becoming the best athlete in 6 months, then I'm gonna become all different. I'll have a rock climbing gym, a swimming pool, a running track, maybe a weight room. I wouldn't get heavy on the weights, but there's I definitely like to get some. I hit the weights one time in my life, and I got to where I wasn't the weakest person in the room, but I never got to where I could push heavy weight. But I still would just dominate motherfuckers that could push the most weight in the wrestling room. So it's not like weight matters that much. Weight is definitely, the ability to move weight is definitely probably the least qualifying skill to be a good athlete and or fighter. The only place I've seen real value in it is defensive and offensive line. But if I get enough money, I'm buying the Arizona Cardinals, and we're changing the whole game. I know we get 11 players on the field, and for me it's going to be maybe I keep the offensive line, but maybe I got the offensive line just got to be a bunch of tight ends that learn how to fucking block, and the rest of them, they're all quarterbacks, running backs, wide receivers, interchangeable. Just it's a new quarterback every play or every possession, and just take the stress off any one person and put it on a team factor, and expect everyone to be able to fill in at any position all the time. It's not that hard to be a quarterback. I've thrown enough things to know I can throw good enough to where if I practice for a month to perfect my throwing after I've already perfected my body, anyone can fucking quarterback. And we've already seen enough people do trick plays in the last decade of the NFL to see plenty of good quarterbacks out there. And so I would change the whole style of the game. It would be a lot more fun in my version. It would be way more fun in my version. But what we'd have to do is go buy a team, make it my way, and then go dominate all the other teams, win Super Bowl after Super Bowl after Super Bowl until everyone just submits and says, okay, we got to play more like these motherfuckers. Because because these motherfuckers go hard. Where's the next whale? We had a whale come in the morning. Where's that next volume pump? Or maybe that was David. Maybe this is the start of the buyback. Because you guys got to understand, David knows how many shares they have left. And David just got an award of shares. He hasn't announced in an SEC filing how many shares that was. But you know he knows. And so that tells him how many shares they've sold. Like if he's wondering if there's fake shares or anything, they can now use that math to see how many shares are at the DTCC right now versus how much dilution capability they have. Like you know they got those numbers. So maybe this is just David pumping it up, giving people some time. Maybe in the next hour we'll get another pump. We shall see. Damn, that volume is just dead. Fucking calm before the storm. When do we get the updated numbers for life insurance costs due to the vaccine, people? Like, guaranteed if you got vaccinated, you're not living as long as the rest of the people. Like, per average. And I'm just pretty sure enough people took the vaccine to where we're probably going to be forced to... What's the word? To expense the difference. There's a better word, but ultimately we're gonna have to carry the burden. Like our rates go up so theirs can come down. They're gonna say it's emergency because there's just too many people that got vaccinated. Everyone gotta carry the burden together. I am ready for that real data. Only thing that gets me excited is when I see new and real data. Everything else is just fucking noise. So I had 2,998 subscribers when I started this. If I still have that, and there's 2 people in here that haven't fucking subscribed, get me to 3,000, motherfuckers. Don't make me fucking fight for 2 subscribers. Let's see how many it says I got. I still got 2,998. What the fuck? And it says half the people watching all my videos every day aren't subscribed. Motherfuckers. Get me to 3,000 subscribers and we might go to $3,000 a share today. Those are the rules. So would it be fun to watch me play at chess as we wait? I'm not very good, but I think I got the basics. I like to step out of the lines and start games that have never been started before because they're obviously bad moves, and then try to like come back from them. Let's see if I can log on to my chess account from... I've never done it from the computer before. Let's see here. I think it's this one. Alright, let's just do a 10-minute game. Okay. I don't like nothing already. What are you doing? I did not click on that. Uh-oh. Alright. We'll just keep it simple. Oh. My computer's fucking up. Hold on. We'll try again. Alright. Let's go here. It's a stupid move for him to make. don't like nothing about his move. Damn. What is the play? Guess it's all about this pawn. We can trade it off. Like, I've lost so many games just because at the end I get bored and I just do something stupid. Damn. I don't like none of it. Alright. We'll just do that. Just quit, motherfucker. Damn, this motherfucker. What are you doing? Bitch, get the fuck out of here. I won. Yay. How did it say I did in the game? 0 mistakes, 0 blunders? What did it say that I played at? Nice. 86.1. That's pretty good. I had 1 great move, 21 best moves. It never likes my beginning. I always start out sketch. Nice. A 1450 rating, I'll take it. I bet I could beat Andrew Tate. And he's played 1,000 times as many games as I have. Maybe 100 times as many. MULN, please be our hero. Where you at, MULN? I just won a chess game in your honor. Let's go. What more I gotta do? Am I musically inclined? Um, when I played the drums in first grade, my music teacher told my parents that I was the best natural drummer she ever seen. And then for a couple years, I played the piano, and I got to where I could play a little piano. Like, I could still read music and press the notes, but I never really got good at like using the pedal and playing like the best songs. I just didn't care. Like, the only way my mom could motivate me to practice was to buy me Yu-Gi-Oh, Pokemon cards and stuff, take me to tournaments and stuff. Every 30 minutes I practiced, I gotta open another pack of cards. But I'd rather play StarCraft and get nothing from my parents. So I played a lot of StarCraft during the summers, and Diablo. But I like StarCraft because I'm playing against somebody else. Like, when you play online, you're playing, like, you both start with 4 little miners that can build buildings, and you just gotta see who can build the fastest and kill first. I like music a lot. I feel like there's been a bridge that just, like, doesn't, something like, it's almost like my shame. Like, it's hard for me to get on a mic and just spit what's on my mind in a music sense, because I feel like I'm acting. Like, I just see a bunch of actors when I see rappers and all this other shit. Like, and I don't know how to, I just don't know how to think about the music in the same way that I say my words so that it goes nicely with the music, and when to hold it, when to drop it, and all those good things. Definitely know nothing about writing music. About, like, which notes go well together and why. Tried to pick up a drum or a guitar once, and it just felt like my fingers were too weak. Like, everyone around me feels like they got stronger fingers than I do. I never really worked on my grip. I got pretty strong hands when, like, after I started roofing. I probably could have tried to pick up a guitar then, but before then, like, before I learned how to swing a hammer, I probably wasn't ready. But I got really good at Guitar Hero. I beat, like, every song on expert mode except for, like, 4 on Guitar Hero 3. I couldn't get the last 4, and I just got bored of trying. Like, I'd get halfway through and keep losing, and I just got tired of trying to memorize the shit. Because it seems like everyone else just memorizes it, plays it so much until it's part of, like, definitely people be memorizing shit better than I do. But it's because I don't see the value in adding that type of information to my life. Like, I probably could have done the music. I probably could have done, especially if I, like, would have learned how to use the computers for the music. Like, it probably wouldn't have been hard. But, yeah, I mean, just none of that stuff felt like it was going to get me where I needed to go. Like, out of all the things I thought about I wanted to be famous for, none of them were more serious than, like, UFC fighting. Like, at least I feel like real people are up there, like, offering their bodies. And so, like, people like to listen to what these people got to say. And people got respect for them. Pretty funny seeing them get on the ESPN UFC fight card and calling out the bundles of sticks in the crowd that are a bunch of fucking haters. What do you mean, do I play any instruments? I play the piano. I can play a couple songs on the piano that aren't very expert, but I used to know one, like, really difficult song. Not, like, really difficult, but definitely not undergrad. But again, not very well with the pedal. But piano's, like, the only thing that I would say that I know how to play. Drums, I can read a little bit. I played the violin for a little bit in, like, 4th grade. But just, like I said, none of it stuck with me. I didn't care about none of it. It all felt a little gay, especially when I was younger. Now I see if I would just chose the music, my life would have been easy. But that's okay. My life wasn't meant to be easy. I was meant to fight the world in a different way. What is this? Oh, that's funny. Let go, MULN. Somebody says, I would really like to listen to more of what you have to say. But first, I'd like you to prove that Jesus lived and died, more importantly, rose from the dead. Please explain his resurrection with facts, not just feelings. Jesus' resurrection is supposed to be an event that actually happened. So, what you gotta understand is that my faith was not built on the idea of the resurrection. My faith was built on the idea that society had to go through all these evil kings and through the people fighting against slavery for literally 6,000 years. And after 4,000 years of it, there was a man that came that everyone only knew to be a good man. Like, they've known him his whole life. And he comes after working hard and building a business and having lots of friends and families, partaking in a lot of what they're partaking in, but always, like, setting records straight when needed. And he finally came and said that he realizes what he has to do. And what his realization was that not that he needed to unite the people and conquer the enemy, but that he needed to unite the people under a promise. And that the promise was that one day, Jesus' sacrifice being done for his Father, one day the Father will come and resurrect the Spirit of Jesus through Jesus' sacrifice. And so, I fully believe, because the Bible says it's written, that Jesus came back. And that, the best evidence of it is that we know that the miracles prophesied after Jesus' coming, after Jesus left, the apostles were all doing miracles. It is documented history, not from the prophets, not the prophets' words. It's from the kings, it's from the story of the king killing the prisoner as the apostle was released by one of the angels, and then the king comes and kills the prisoner because he says there's no way this guy could have escaped unless you helped him. The story when he gets, he saves the people on the boat that's crashing in the sea and everyone thinks they're gonna die, and Paul saves them, gets bit by a snake once they get to shore and doesn't get hurt, and these people say this man must be a god because that would have killed us, guaranteed. And they thought he was evil because he got bit, but then they thought he was God because he lived. And those stories, the story of the 14-year-old boy falling off the wall and Paul freaking healing him, those are recorded evidence, not of an apostle, not of a Bible teaching. Those are records back at in the scrolls of the kings. All the stuff that we don't get access to, there's so much evidence to support not only the miracles, but the idea of history and mankind, and the idea that all it takes is for one man to walk with purpose, willing to die for everyone else, willing to die for something greater than himself, and ignite that spirit in the people to actually create change. Now, you can believe, whether you want to believe that I'm sent here to just fuck shit up like the Bible says, and then it suggests that the world gets mostly peaceful for 1,000 years. And if you want to believe that that's all just the idea that human nature is just consistent and that all things repeat themselves, and that regardless if it was me or somebody else, history just in itself says that there'll be a new Hitler, a new Jesus, a new something that comes and motivates people against whatever's happening in this world right now. And that all it takes is one man to do it. And so, even if you only were willing to believe that Jesus was only just a man and that he was such a powerful man with his words, that people would make these stories up about him just to show the respect they had for him, but also to prophesy of the type of faith and belief it would require in order for another man to come and try to conquer the devil himself. So, Yeah, I mean, there's 1,000 reasons to believe in the Bible, regardless if you believe in the miracles. And even if you didn't want to believe in the literal miracles, like, I mean, there's enough evidence from the Joseph Smith age to know that, like, Mormons were performing miracles and that other Christian churches were writing to Joseph Smith for advice, and they weren't joining Joseph's church, but, like, they were treating him like a prophet and suggesting that all people should hear what this guy got to say, asking him to run for president of the United States of America, like, all this other stuff. So, like, Joseph Smith knew how to talk, he knew how to motivate, he knew how to rally the troops, and he knew how to inspire a brighter future, which was the most important thing. And so, yeah, I mean, 1,000 reasons why you should believe the miracles, but no reasons why you should believe those miracles exist today. The Bible seems pretty clear that the only miracles that are going to be found from the hand of God, and that God is going to be here to wipe away your tears and exalt you to where you could go perform miracles yourself. But that is not going to be everybody that makes it to that stage, at least not right away, especially not right away. And so it would seem that I'm going to be somewhat stuck behind the veil for the next 3 years. But it would also seem that the first signs of the heavens falling to earth, and like when the blessings of heaven, when the Bible talks about the blessings of heaven coming to earth, it is not for a moment. It is here to stay. And it only gets better. It's heaven. So when it talks about that, like, if you had trouble believing the miracles, well, then think about it in just the logic of a man can come and unite the people under one place and create change. And if it's MULN, and MULN is like that biblical reference towards like a man conquering the devil and heavens falling to the people just all over the world, like if you can at least have that much faith, and then this should be enough to get you started down the right path, to get the money with the right reasons, understanding why I'm here and that this isn't about the money for me and it's something bigger than that, and then try to understand what exactly it is, which I'll define as we start to see what happens. But try to define what you think I want, and if you like what I'm shooting for and you like what I'm striving for, because no matter what this world does, until somebody tells me that they're God and that I need to worship them because they're God and I can inspect them every part of their life and all these different things and that I should follow them, like, until that happens, I have to be who I am. Like, until someone can convince me otherwise, like, the Bible says this is the end times, and the Bible says that there will be a person to follow. And right now, I've looked for the last 10 years for somebody to follow. I've joined a bunch of stupid mentor groups, and they're all waste of money. They're all waste of time. It's all about hoarding money and just trying to perfect your margins inside your current business of whatever you feel like you like, rather than telling me what's the absolute best, fastest way to me to make money and, like, start changing this world and building businesses that can fix this world. And none of them are like that. None of them want to help you like that. They're all fucking fake. They're all fucking phonies. They like you paying them money, so you treating them like an expert when they're not experts in anything. They're not experts in anything. They're good at some things, especially serving the devil, but they're not fucking experts. You should not be paying $10,000 a month to nobody for no fucking training. Oh my God. These people cannot help you. I expect a update on the lawsuit every fucking day until we get one. I'm amazed it's coming this slow. I'm amazed the Fox News interview hasn't happened again. I'm amazed about all this bullshit. Like, it is fucking wild, people. Like, you guys gotta understand, the Bible says you only gotta do two things to guarantee eternal life. Now, eternal life is not eternal godhood. There's two promises in the Bible for two different types of people. But eternal life is for everyone. And the only two things you got to do for eternal life is praise your Lord by his name. The Bible's very specific about this. So whoever you think the person is, because, like, I'm sure once people start following me, there's going to be a dozen people saying it, and they're all going to have decent resumes, and they're all going to have a good reason why they might be the one. And, like, you're going to have to go find someone, and your job is whoever ignites that spirit, that fire inside your body, you have to praise their name And then you have to love your neighbor. You can live anywhere in the world and do those two things. There is not a lot being asked of you. But if there's not a billion people saying Marcus Ray the GOAT all at the same time on every social media platform, we're going to have a serious problem here. How many people we got? We got 23 people. Lame. Feels like a lie. Lie, lie, lie. All you do is lie, devil. Why you always lying? I'm at 2,999 subscribers. One more subscriber to get to 3,000. Let's go, people. Make it happen, Captain. Who's Mr. 3000?
Very well pled. Comment on MULN. So I'll let you read between the lines on that, but I can't comment on MULN. But I can tell you that's probably one of the best market manipulation lawsuit complaints. It's very well pled, and I'm pretty confident that'll survive a motion to dismiss, which is, to me, it's good for the MULN shareholders. But that's all I can say about that.
That's the truth. That's from Mark Basil, and he says he can't comment on it specifically because he got inside information. But what he's saying is that he's never seen a lawsuit so strong, and that the second that it breaks, if the second they appeal and then we win the appeal, and it's going to court, it's going to trial, we get our first settlement offer. After the first settlement offer, if we go to, and we deny it, and we go to testimony, and witness testimony, depositions, then we'll get a second offer to not go to a jury trial. And if we deny that offer, then we'll get to a jury trial. And as soon as we start explaining the case to the jury, and it looks like there's nothing left to be said before the judge goes to calls for the jury to vote, they will probably come with one last final offer, which will probably be everything they have, or 90% of it at least, because they're really trying to show you that they would do anything in their world that they have the power to do outside of let this go to a verdict and let a jury define them as guilty. Because everything in their life is about hiding that. And so, like, there is a chance that, like, with the impeachment of Biden, like, the DOJ is going to stop being so corrupt, and we don't even need to make it to a jury trial before enough evidence has already been exposed that the DOJ has already been weaponized against these evil actors. All that's very possible, but we don't know. We just got to wait and see. We just here to wait and find out. I don't know. Like, I mean, if we already asked for injunctive relief, so if injunctive relief is granted, which supposedly is within 2 weeks of filing the lawsuit, like, it already, like, if any injunctive relief is granted, then it already guarantees the right to trial, and it already, like, we wouldn't even have to file a retort to the dismissal claim because the judge has already ruled that there's enough. Does that make sense? So, like, I personally don't even think there's going to be an appeal. Like, I think it just matters when do we get the injunctive relief. And supposedly they're saying they can take 2 to 4 weeks, and we're at, like, 2.5 weeks now. Who is Mark Branson? I don't know that I've ever heard of a Mark Branson. I've heard of a Branson before, but I don't remember it being Mark. Branson. A British Swiss financial market expert and former bank manager. He is president of the Federal Financial Supervisory Authority since August 1st, 2021, and was director of the Swiss Financial Market Supervisory Authority, FINMA, from 2014 to 2021. Studied mathematics and management studies at Trinity College of University of Cambridge. Also obtained a master's degree in operational research at Lancaster University. Sounds like a top dog. What you know about Mark Branson? Is there news about Mark Branson doing something? What do we know about Mark Branson? Knox says, I was trying to find a clip where I heard him talking and they mentioned MULN, but I see nothing of it. Mark Branson, MULN Automotive. MULN stock slides nearly 60%. Dum, dum. Mark Branson, let's try YouTube. Let's go to videos. What's his most recent video? Doesn't look like there's anything recent. I mean, this is the only thing that could have MULN in it, just by the dates. It's not even going to be English. Bummer. Really? You can't even give me English subtitles? The fuck? Fucking weak ass YouTube, bro. I don't know, bro. I don't know. What do we got going on? What's MULN doing? Just fucking chilling. Hey, we hit 3,000 subscribers. Hey, must be the money. Damn, and then somebody unsubscribed. What a bitch, nigga. That's funny. Let's see what these next 2 days got. $613,000 views. Let's make it a Billy. Gonna need a little help from MULN to do that, though. Let's see if there's any good news happening. Let's see what they be saying in Congress. What is going on here?
I can't wait to have your cock in my mouth. I'm going to give you the blood.
Oh, Dougie. What is going on here? Here we go. Oh, but why? Alright, let's change the filters to today. U.S.-Iran strike deal to swap prisoners. Oh, I heard about that. Let's see how stupid it actually is.
9%? Yes! 9.5% ABV!
I can't afford my YouTube no more, so we gotta watch commercials.
The Biden administration struck a deal with Iran for a prisoner swap.
Fox's Rebecca Castor has more from Washington on the swift reaction.
5 American citizens detained in Iran are one step closer to
Europe?
returning home. The Biden White House has agreed to swap prisoners, 5 Iranians for
American.
5 Americans, and unfreeze $6 billion in Iranian money, a deal Republicans are slamming.
The release of Americans in any country in the world. But when we pay ransom payments to terrorist regimes like Iran, we only encourage them.
Secretary of State Antony Blinken sealed the deal last week, but members of Congress were not notified until Monday, when Americans commemorated 22 years since the 9/11 terrorist attacks.
Maybe that's why the impeachment came finally.
Recent maritime operations in Persian Gulf with Russia.
That guy looks like Negan.
Their attitude hasn't changed.
Senators Katie Britt and Tom Cotton call the deal shameful. Britt sharing in a statement, the Biden administration choosing today of all days to notify Congress the president is handing $6 billion to the biggest state sponsor of terrorism in the world just adds insult to injury. President Biden did not address the prisoner swap during his 9/11 remarks in Alaska, but says,
We're going to continue to disrupt terrorist activity wherever we may find it. And I will never hesitate to do what is necessary to defend the American people.
Oh, really? Bending over for $6 billion is rooting out terrorism wherever you find it? Such a fucking clown.
So you think you know Wix? Do you really?
I thought the House said fuck no to this.
First up, we've got shit.
Where
Over
the
the past few months, the Senate Appropriations
Where the fuck is that music coming from?
process has been a shining
Find someone
example
unexpected on
of
Bumble.
how things
Download
should
today.
get done.
Oh, it's my fucking phone.
So you think?
YouTube fucking trying to run on my phone. I was like, what the fuck?
In Washington. These are times when people are divided. This is a closely divided chamber. But nevertheless, we can summarize the Senate's work in funding the government in one word: bipartisan. Bipartisan. Both parties in both chambers will have to work together if we are to avoid a shutdown. So when the House returns next week, I implore, I beg my House Republican colleagues to follow the Senate's lead, to recognize that time is short, and the only way to avoid a shutdown is through bipartisanship in both the House and the Senate. If both sides work in good faith, embrace bipartisanship as we've done in the Senate, avoid all or nothing tactics, my way or the highway tactics.
It is my way or the highway.
On the debt ceiling, then there'll be no shutdown, and that'll be good news for the American people. I've had a conversation with Speaker McCarthy, and we had a good conversation. We agree to CR is the best way to go. He's going to have a rough time implementing it, but I hope he sticks to his guns. And I think he knows, I think Leader McCarthy knows, that if a shutdown happens, it'll be caused by House Republicans. It'll be bad for the country, but it'll also be very bad for them.
Here in the Senate, we have proven there is exactly zero reason for chaos or for shutdown. I'm
Bullshit.
with Vice
Shut it
Chair
down.
Collins. The Senate Appropriations Committee has shown the American people that Congress can actually do its job.
Bullcrap.
That we can work in a timely, bipartisan way to solve problems and make life better for the communities that we represent.
We've been waiting
We
for
heard
forever.
from members on both sides of the aisle. They want to return to regular order, and we've been working very hard to make sure An open, bipartisan process is going on to make that happen.
But what if you are working hard this time? It'd be the first time in 50 years you've worked hard. So do we really fucking care? Like, you owe this to us, bitch.
Opinion in my party on this, and I think the president has, been too slow to keep the commitments that he's made publicly. But at least he's supporting the effort. I think he could have done it more skillfully, but he is supporting the effort, and I intend to continue to support it, and I hope the majority of my colleagues will feel the same way.
I talk a lot around here about regular order, and the reason I do that is because I think bills, when they move through regular order, is a more transparent process, it is more accountable to the people in this country, and I hope that we can have a regular order process as we begin to deal with appropriation bills, so we don't end up like we did last year, at the end of the year, with everything piled up in this big train wreck of one big appropriations bill that's a take it or leave it proposition.
I just lost thousands of dollars as a business until I started running my creatives on Snapchat ads. Right now, if you set up an ad account and spend $350, they will get...
Oh. So the Senate's a bunch of bitches. Let's see if the House caves like they always do. The fuck? Anything else? Everything's so boring. Potential Biden impeachment muddy him up looms as Congress returns. That's yesterday's news. Everything's so boring. The most exciting thing happening right now is the dude who fucking escaped from prison and been on the run for 12 days. I think today's 13. Everything else is just fucking boring. Ah. This motherfucker again. What's he gotta say?
Backed in a corner, the House Speaker Kevin McCarthy facing mounting pressure from his ruling party on two major issues. The first is really basic, just reaching a deal to have the government stay open, avoid a shutdown in 19 days. Far right insisting on deep spending cuts to Ukraine aid and domestic programs. Shutdown appears to be no problem for some.
I can't just sit here and rubber stamp the status quo. We're heading into a shutdown in October if you guys don't stand up and fight.
I'm not averse to government shutdowns. I think it's a legitimate portion of a negotiation around debt.
I think it's certainly reasonable for the House to use whatever leverage it can to try to get as much policy, good policy made through this process as possible.
The second issue facing McCarthy is whether to call for impeachment hearings against Biden. Matt Gaetz, who of course is one of many Republicans demanding impeachment, says he would work with Democrats to boot McCarthy. He doesn't do it. Tweeting at Congressman Eric Swalwell, if I make a motion to remove Kevin, how many Democrat votes can I count on? Asking for a friend. Out front now, the Democratic Senator from West Virginia, Joe Manchin. And Senator, you just heard two of your colleagues, they're not ruling out a shutdown. And we're reporting tonight that Speaker McCarthy and the Senate Majority Leader Schumer have not had direct talks about a government funding deal.
It's everything you wished for. Your site traffic is skyrocketing until this happens.
Just checking again here. Since July. Here we are, in the middle of September. Do you have any confidence there will be a deal?
Well, first of all, no one should be telling him about a shutdown because it's the average person out there trying to make it day-to-day gets hurt the worst. And that shouldn't happen. It's not our purpose of being
It's the government employees that get hurt the worst.
and try to blame each other. We had a
They might need to suffer a little bit since they've had it so easy for so much longer than everyone else.
months ago. That was after
A lot of bullshit government jobs out there.
Kevin McCarthy sat down.
Not all of them, but some of them.
And we voted on it. And Eric,
We'll
back
take care of the
then-
ones that
back
need to be
then,
taken care of.
14 members of the House
I
voted
like my
in
mailman.
favor to approve it. And that's with almost a 50-50 split. In the Senate, 63 senators
I don't know that we
voted
need mail
to
system
approve
anymore,
it, and
but
that's with 17 Republicans.
if it's a
And
job,
now
it's
you have
not a
people
bad
saying,
job.
well, that's too much, we're going to cut it back to the 2022 level. That wasn't what the deal was. And we have, on the Senate side, wanting to spend more with certain side deals and an extra $14 billion. That wasn't in the deal either. So can't we just get back to the deal that we had and vote it up or down the way you want to vote? We didn't get everybody the last time. We sure got more than enough to pass it. And I think it'll pass again.
All right, well, I mean, certainly everyone in this country should hope that a deal does pass. I mean, the White House tonight, Senator threatened to veto a plan from the House GOP that the White House says would cut defense spending, education spending, health care, clean energy programs. That's what they say it would do. But look, the reality, of course, Senator, is that the United States is nearly $33 trillion in debt. It's going up by tens of billions of dollars a day. As you point out often, the government spent more money than it has taken in every single year since the year 2001. Is there any way out of this if President Biden does not agree to spending cuts?
Well, they've already made that deal. Now, if they're not going to honor the deal, then they ought to say, okay, that deal was false. It's not accurate, so we'll go back to the table. If they want to fight for the deal they have, then fight for that deal. You already had a vote, a positive vote. Why they want to reinvent the wheel, I don't know. And why people, I'm sure the people that voted against it before, 3 months ago, Aaron, they're probably going to be against no matter what you do. It'll never be good enough. And they let the perfect be the enemy of the good or give them a reason to vote against something. The bottom line is we are starting to cap our spending. We've got to. 21 years in a row, Aaron, and we've spent more money than we've taken in. There's not a person listening and watching us tonight that can live that way. They can't go 21 months. Some people can't go 21 days. You cannot continue to spend your way out of indebtedness. You can't do it. So we've got to make some tough choices. It's not going to be quickly overnight. It can be gradual, but it has to be done. But you can't be throwing more fuel on the fire.
Nah, it's got to be quickly overnight. My way or the highway, bitch. Don't know how else to say it. Pretty slow, pretty boring. I mean, 50 cents is cool and all, but fuck. Not what we came for.
On the watch is this idea of double tap, but you have to ask yourself how much you
All right,
actually
guys.
answer phone calls on your watch, or how.
Meet Kevin is live right now. Everyone needs to go hit the chat and just spam MULN. Like, for real, though. He hasn't done a live in a long time. Like, he deserves it. He needs it. Everyone should do it. Not for me, not for MULN. Do it for Kevin. Everyone should do it.
Accelerometer that's in the device, and then the movement of your muscles in your wrist. So it's not like there's a camera watching your fingertips doing this. But it is a cool new smart gesture. I like the cover to silence a notification or phone.
Like, just every 10 seconds, drop another MULN comment. You can copy and paste it. Keep it simple.
I can control it with just one hand, not having to put down a cup of coffee or whatever. I do think that's functional. Is it worth upgrading though? I'll let you know on device Siri, 3,000 nits of display. When I'm running in the sun, I will
Fuck
say
me,
sometimes I
Gavin.
can't see the screen. Although when you're running in the sun, you gotta ask yourself, how much do you really need to see the screen? I don't know. There are cases you want to see it, right? This is the point you gotta watch. But anyway, the biggest thing of the new Ultra 2 was that the modular device, which is actually really entertaining in my opinion. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get my watch to focus in on this, but I'll try it. But what's really entertaining, so I actually use the modular display.
His videos have gotten so lame. He used to find the touchiest subjects and then like really give you details about them that you can't find much other places. But he's gotten so censored and soft. Oh, meet Kevin. Apple event, Wonderlust, iPhone 15 event. iPhone 15, wow. I bet it's so much better. Like literally, unless it has an AI that's like implanted into my digital ID for life. And like it always grows and understands who I am, what I'm trying to accomplish, and is always like generating its answers with my vision in mind. Like, unless the iPhone 15 got that, like, don't fucking tell me about no fucking iPhone 15 or 16 or fucking 35. I don't need a better camera. I don't need a better microphone. I don't need, like, maybe a better battery's cool, but outside of fucking a battery and, like, an AI that never forgets a conversation we've had, everything else is garbage in a cell phone. The way everyone's talking and acting on Twitter and different socials, it seems like we still got a couple days to the squeeze. Unfortunately. But again, if you count like every green day, like since we hit our top, like if we only go green day after day after day before we hit $100 a share, are you gonna look back and say it squoze from $2 to $100, or are you gonna say it squoze from fucking 42 cents to 200? You know what I mean? Like, is it 1 week or is it 2 week squeeze? And so, it feels like we're already squeezing, but it's hard to celebrate right now. Just because I know none of you guys believe that much, like I believe. I mean, maybe a couple of you, but I know most people just can't believe it till they see it. And that's okay. We can let it happen on your time. But once it's my time, it's never over. My time never ends. All I want to hear is MULN 5s on the road, like literally tomorrow. The first 1,000 of them already ready to go. Maybe a couple hundred Bollingers, a bunch of the commercial, hopefully 10,000 or more, and them accepting full and complete payments. Anyone that pays for their car will have it within 12 months or less because they'll use your money to go order the new supplies. And you got to pay 75% up front before you can get your car, and you can pay the other 25% when the car is ready for you. And the sooner you pay that money, the first one you'll be to get the car. Some people get cars as early as fucking now to December. Some people have to wait till fucking the end of 2024 because they waited so long. But the second they turn on the Buy My MULN 5 RS button, $50,000 down payment, I'm putting it down. Quick, fast, and in a hurry. Because that means our stock's already through the roof. They wouldn't allow us to give MULN $1 billion in pre-orders if the stock was still down. Let's go MULN. It needs to go up another 5% before we can think that this rally might hold. And it should happen a lot faster. But that is a nice little volume bar we got there. That's a first. First since the beginning of the day. Biggest volume bar since the beginning of the day. Nice. Let's get another one. Another one. Jamming. Hope you're jamming. Oh, nice. The Charlotte, North Carolina tour begins tomorrow. Is that the one where it looked like they announced that the MULN 5RS was not going to be available to drive? But every other time they announced it was going to be available, and then it ended up not being available. And so this time they're saying it's not going to be available. I feel like it is going to be available. Maybe not till the second day, but I feel like we might finally be seeing the MULN 5RS at the next show, and somebody's saying it's fucking tomorrow. That's awesome. Let go. Man, could you imagine being at the show as the stock is up 1,000% in a day? That would be a good day. I don't care what you're doing. But like just being around a bunch of different MULN investors, also like seeing it at the same time for the first time and just finally knowing the fight is over. Wow, that would be impactful. Let it run. Ba-dum, bum, bum, ba-dum. Let's do it. What are we waiting for, Mr. David? David, where are you? Alright, what did the SEC filing from yesterday say? Oh, that was the Romeo. So basically, the thing that David Mitchery bought for $3.5 million yesterday, I can't remember if it was Canoe or if it was Ride, which I think is Lordstown. But somebody paid like $160 million for what we just paid $3.5 million for. So that sounds like a fire sale if they have anything worth using. Sounds like something that just could not be resisted. Where the MULN at? Your little cup and handle? Is it time to boom boom? A boom boom boom. Lego. Like, I just want to see it go from 50 cents to $100 all in a trading hour. Just something that people can come and look at and just be like, wow, it really happened. It actually happened. We thought it was all impossible. Guess the crazy man was right. Keep on going. Never stop. Never stop. Not a bad volume bar. Let's back it up with another one. I think the squeeze will most likely come at the end of this market day, in the next 60 minutes. That's what I think most likely is going to happen. Because every second that they stop it from squeezing, the higher the price is going to go. So it makes sense for them to squeeze this 6 months ago, 2 years ago. Like, it made sense for them to just not let retail know about it and like start it out as a big company and just give David $5 billion to start so he can IPO at $20 billion. All of that made a lot of fucking sense. But they didn't do it. Instead, they said, let's fight a war until we die. Let's make them kill us. That's what they said. That's what they decided. There's 1,000 ways they could have played this, and they chose the worst way. And so the answer to your question of when will it squeeze, it's when they're no longer able to stop it, no matter what they do. And as to when that will be, the math says it's now. Like, it's now. The math says that when they announced the 184, at most they had like 75 million shares to sell, and that's not counting if like the extra stuff David has that he could sell, but he promised not to sell until 2024. And so the math says everyone that could sell has sold, and that the next person to get some shares is going to be 70 million shares for Azusa or whatever. The Dragonfly company, and it's not Azusa. That's one of the debt companies. It's something else. Anyways, they're going to get like 60 million shares October 1st. And so we can assume that those will get diluted before 2024, but that's not till October 1st. So whatever we see start happening in the stock price right now before October 1st, like, you shouldn't be worried about any dilution holding it back. You should be worried about how high can we send the stock price. And then if October 1st comes and we're at a super high stock price, then you can start considering taking profits and playing a fucking game. Because, like, if we're at $1,000 a share, that 60 million shares is now $60 billion of dilution. They don't need $60 billion of dilution to control the stock price. Like, what they need is it's not even about dilution at that point. Like, that's plenty of dilution for them to control it. But what they need is for you to sell and not own 60% or more of the company. That's what they really need. And so, as long as you're focused on understanding that your goal should be to sell at the highest possible price, so you have to sell the least amount and still have more money than you thought you would have before, and wait to see how things settle out before you sell anything significant, like, that's where your head should be right now. How high can you hold it before you take your first profits? So your first profits are so much money that you're just like, damn, like, I don't even know where I'm going to spend this money that I just cashed out. Like, this is enough to go buy a house, and I still got 90% of my investment inside. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's where your head needs to be at. So, obviously, I'm going to be here day in and day out once the squeeze starts. And I'm going to be showing you guys my position in the morning and my position at night, or right before the market closes. And everyone will know what I'm doing. And if you want to do it with me, that's good for you. If not, that's cool with me. But whatever the stock price tells me is going to happen ends up usually happening. Not always exactly on my time scale, so I'm going to give myself a little more theta than I'm comfortable with, or than what I used to be known for doing. But outside of more theta, like, yeah, I'm just going to hit it big every time something feels perfect. And this is the first time. Like, we're full bull, we're all in all the time until we know that we've squeezed at such heights that they might have control of the stock again. At that time where it starts looking like the squeeze has come and gone, and like, that doesn't mean the squeeze is gone, it just means that there might be a fight before we squeeze more. It would make sense for them to squeeze this all at once, all in one day, to $30 trillion, so that no one even wants to think about buying this fucking stock because it's so expensive. We're still going to be able to buy, like, sell it. We're still going to get, like, it's never going to crash more than 90% from wherever it goes to. And so, if we go to 30 trillion, like, we're always going to be at least 3 trillion, no matter if you sell at the worst time or the best time. From now to 30 trillion, or 3 trillion, like, that's $10,000 a share. So, you got nothing to worry about. Life is good. Everyone getting at least $10,000 a share. That's what the math says. That was a fun little pump and dump we just had right there. I wonder if it comes with another pump. Oh, wow. Let me verify that real quick. I just checked my views on my channel like an hour ago, And it said I had... It said I had 613,830 views. And now I check it now and it says 620,000 views. It just went up 7,000 views in the last hour. 6,000 views. That's cute. But there was one video that like actually got 6,000 views like 24 hours ago, so maybe it's just adding that. And it's weird that it got 6,000 views because it's only like 11 seconds long, and it's like just like this 14-year-old kid doing a flip in California off one of the walls that like separate the beach from the sidewalk, from the boardwalk. And like he did a backflip, and I was like, "Hey bro, I got a YouTube channel. Let me live record you doing another one." He says, "Okay." And then he does a backflip in like 11 seconds. And for whatever reason, yesterday it got 6,000 views. That's fucking weird. And that was like 2 years ago. Weird shit. Why am I so confident MULN will squeeze? Easy answer. Their market cap is $100 million right now, and they have announced that they have the best EV battery in the whole entire market, and they have taken it to get tested. And where other batteries die and start to do less efficiency after 2,000 charges, MULN can go 10,000 plus, and it still doesn't even seem to be tarnished. They say that they can build these batteries into a bigger storage of battery space into a smaller amount of space because of the way they build their batteries, meaning that they can build the smallest but biggest battery, meaning that their cars can go the farthest distance per charge. When people decide to go buy cars, just like always for gas cars, people love to buy big gas tanks. People love trucks just because they have big gas tanks. And like a lot of these things are real, and so people are gonna, when they do like start going to EV, they're gonna be looking for a company that got the best miles per charge, the best battery, and it is MULN, and it is obvious. And they've already got all these great partnerships for Fortune 500 companies, British Airways, all this other garbage, and they've just not been allowed to tell us about it, and they've been getting suppressed on the supply side from China for whatever parts they need, and they've been suppressed on the SEC filing side and announcements from the SEC. And they only fight and they only suppress and they only try to make a company look like it's going bankrupt, like they did with AMC right before the stock price is about to go way fucking up. How high it goes? I mean, my math says there's no chance anything less than 100, but my math says realistically we should be going to at least 4,000. So, and in a very short period of time. But it may happen in 2 squeezes, because a lot of times it has happened that way. But we'll have to see. We'll just have to wait and see. They will be allowed to announce when the stock price is already through the roof. It's not going to be them announcing that, like, they're not going to drop that they have $1 billion contract and that someone's giving them $200 million tomorrow until we're already above a $200 million market cap. Like, you can't expect to see anything like that until the stock price has already started moving. And we already went green yesterday. We've already fought a low and dominated it, and we already went green yesterday, and we're going green today, and it looks like we'll go green tomorrow. And so the squeeze already started yesterday, but you guys are all a bunch of bitches just crying because it's not going fast enough. And I'm just trying to be here and have a good time with y'all, but, like, you make it hard sometimes. Not saying that you made it hard this time, but I'm just saying, like, I wish everyone was maybe a little bit more enthusiastic about what we got going on. Lots of fucking MULN expiration options. Been losing money on MULN more than anyone. Don't want to hear it. Oof. Look at that. Well, it's a MULN. It's all MULN. I wasn't trading nothing but MULN. Maybe a little QQQ or S&P, but it's all motherfucking MULN for me. MULN. We're fighting this 50-cent line pretty strong. I don't think it drops below 50. Like, not a close. It's never closing below 50 again, in my opinion. Looks like we own 50. We need some volume or something to pick up. Lego, where you at, volume? Fucking nothing. Nothing. You remember yesterday how the chart was like it went way up in the morning and then slowly just found new lows all day long and then tried to fight up and just never went as high as it was before? Well, this is different, people. We're down to power hour and we got motherfucking, like, it's just been holding up at 15% all motherfucking day. That's strong AF. That's hella strong. Give us some volume and power hour. If you think about it, yesterday we didn't hit over 49 cents. Remember, we went to 49 as a high, then we fell below like 45, and then I can't even remember what we closed at. What did we close at? 44. 44 and some change or something. 44.35, and this time, like, we opened basically right at open. We just start climbing right above the 49. That was the high of yesterday, and we basically just dominated 49 all day. And that was basically the resistance we had yesterday. So this is like a real TA saying that the charts are fucking, MULN's fucking up the shorts. How long can they, like, fight this little feeble fight where they just slowly let it up before it explodes? I got no answer for that, man. But explosion is incoming. It could happen today, it could happen fucking Friday, or it could happen early next week. I don't know. All of those seem like the most likely outcomes. What up, Blazin'? Hope you're ready to make that money with us. Hope you're ready to bless the streets. Like, we've waited 2 years, people. We can wait 5 more days. I might die, but it's okay if I die. All you guys can wait. You've been patient. What's another fucking 5 days? Not much. Not much is sure. But the Bible says 5 days is like 5,000 years to God. So I'd hate to be someone who thought they were God. Otherwise, every day sounds like fucking torture. Especially the days when the devil's climbing on the back. Bitch ass devil. About to fuck you up, bitch. We got 3,002 subscribers. So it was like a year ago I broke 3,000 subscribers, and then they didn't like how I acted, and like, so it was after the AMC squeeze. I then get to 3,000 subscribers, so obviously my channel's still growing. And then they didn't like the way I acted, and I fell down to like 2,300 subscribers. And now ever since I started pumping MULN again, back in like the last, we'll say 4 months, I've gone from 2,300 subscribers or so. Maybe it was 2,700. Felt like it was 2,300. But anyways, back to 3,000. Positive trajectory, both my YouTube and MULN. It's a good start. Let's go, Cass. My dog's name is Castiel. We call him Cass. Castiel. Like the angel off of Supernatural. He's our guardian angel. Only good thing about this world. Let's run it. For real though. Like, if you haven't called everyone you know and then some people, if you haven't gone out and every time you're out, like at a restaurant, and you leave a nice tip and you write MULN on the fucking receipt, buy MULN, whatever. Like, if that ain't your attitude about this shit, you fucking slacking, motherfuckers. That is how the people unite. You have to let people know. They just don't know. Yeah, I mean, the vehicle lineup is just sexy to sexier. The only thing I'd like them to see, like, I mean, maybe Elon's one saving grace is the semi. If they can put a MULN battery in it and MULN just doesn't want to compete at the semi level, like maybe the semi for Elon is going to be his saving grace. But outside of that, like MULN's lineup is top of the line. Couldn't look nicer in my opinion. Sleek, but not trying to be flashy. Like they put the value in the MULN 5RS rather than the Dragonfly. Like how that's gangster. It's Quinatu or something. I said it was a Sousa, but it's like Quinatu. Some China company that we bought the Dragon rights, like design copyrights from, and they for the first like million that we sell, they get $1,200 or something. 1% royalty. Like, you guys gotta understand, that's buying something of value, like paying a small amount of money for it, and then one day it becomes yours. Like, who the fucking cares if Chinese people developed a nice looking car, sports looking car, that like 21-year-old kids want to buy? But us more mature gentlemen will be rolling around in the Bollingers and MULN 5RSs. That's a for show. Hey, oh, MULN, let's go. Where the fuck's the YOLO? Like, back when I was live streaming on AMC, a guy came up, asked a bunch of questions, says he's a multi-millionaire in Bitcoin, and he likes what he's hearing with what I gotta say about AMC, but I gotta convince him why he should buy some options. And he basically comes back in a couple days later as we're watching the option chain, and the option chain, somebody just says that somebody just bought 2025 options, or like 2 year to expire options, but that they put in something like $8 to $9 million all at one time. And this guy ended up 10x in that money. So he literally made $100 million off the AMC squeeze alone. And there's like a huge, like a week-long evidence like build-up of me like convincing him to buy it. And like the only thing that MULN's missing is that YOLOer. I don't watch anybody's content. Like outside, unless like David Mitchery's on it, unless they're dropping some insider information, I don't watch anyone's content. Unless it's like something like Sam's. I really like his videos with like the Hitler stuff, the 300 stuff. I like all those videos. Those are great. But yeah, it'd be super cool to see someone drop $1 million in MULN options right now. That'd be about the coolest thing I could imagine. And coming on my YouTube channel and saying they did it in my name, my honor. But the fact that they don't show up just shows you how serious this squeeze is. They were fine capitalizing on the AMC squeeze because they knew there was dilution behind it. They knew that they cashed out the Bitcoin to liquidate and like backstop the losses and all this other garbage that happened before the AMC squeeze. And so like it was okay for rich people to promote and to buy AMC stock because like everyone just agreed it was too many investors that it could never be stopped. But MULN is such a small amount of investors who can't be stopped that we're stronger and mightier than a large group could ever be because it's all about how much the small group thinks alike as far as what stock price we go to. And that's why we're not seeing any of the mega rich people. Like there was literal celebrities, rappers, porn stars, like million people followers just screaming AMC to the rooftops. And they were buying billboards, like literally 100 billboards all over the United States, like anything it took, you know? And so, yeah, MULN's different. We don't got those groups with us. Like there's this guy who's got a YouTube channel called The Amazing Lucas. He got 400,000 or more subscribers. And I used to give his, call into his channel when he did like open mic night and like give him a hard time and always just try to because he's like pretty good at pointing out people's hypocrisies, but he like carries a lot of his own, especially just for being black. And yeah, I basically was like in his Discord and in anybody's Discord, once you get in, you always are left with like a bomb you could drop. And at any time, you can say at everyone and tag the 10,000 people in their Discord and drop a message. And then everyone comes and reads who was willing to tag somebody and why. And so I hit him with the AMC gonna squeeze thing probably mid-April. So like a month before the squeeze. And it wasn't more than 3 days later, Amazing Lucas gets on his next live stream and says, okay, guys. I've been doing some research, been talking to my people, and I have to tell you, AMC is going to moon. And I literally orchestrated the event where I got a 400,000 subscriber platform to tell all of his followers to buy fucking AMC stock. And these people, these are real motherfuckers too, they're different people. Like when they hear something like that, they chase, they love the idea of a stock squeeze. So that was pretty cool. We just haven't had any moment like that for MULN. MULN's just been down in the fucking trenches and just winning the war by the silent majority. And yeah, it looks like the hard work's about to pay off. David has been on Finn Journey like a dozen times. So yes, I watch Finn Journey when David's on there. If he's talking about something that he had an interview with David and a lot of people are talking about it, I might go check out the video. But if he's just talking about the SEC filing and it's a 15-minute video talking about the Ortex data and stuff, I got no interest in that stuff. That stuff ain't never mattered when it comes to a stock squeeze. They're always willing to lie if they have to. And in this case, they have to. The data companies are full of shit. I have TD and it's switching to Schwab. Is E-Trade beneficial, meaning less fees for cash account? I don't know. I've never had a cash account. I only trade margin. I only trade options. I don't fuck with stock, honestly. Like, you guys are all worried about your future. I'm only worried about the moment. I'm always living in the moment. Always willing to live or die by the sword. The sword of investing. And options is the only way to do it. You don't have to do options, but if you want to play with the big boys, you do. Options and futures. But futures only if you're good at creating algorithms. How's Gay Boy AMC doing? Up 5%? Freaking homo butcher of Wall Street has to go live to pump his bullshit AMC. Yeah, Sam's stuff is good for sure. We appreciate the efforts he puts in. Back to 50 Cent. Is it time to rip? Time to break 60. Make it look like nothing. And then we break 90. Make that look even less hard. And then we gap fill to 100. And that's how it's supposed to go. Like, it's just amazing how lazy people are. Like, the idea that I got 700 MULN investors that will watch any video I upload, but not like the video 700 times. Like, something as simple as that. Of every person watching liking it. Like, if you're an investor, there's no reason not to. It's only going to motivate other people to invest. But it would be such a strong indicator of your conviction. The number of likes on my video would literally be enough to get people to be like, damn, people really like this. People must really like MULN if that's all this motherfucker likes to talk about. But like you don't even have to share the video. Literally just liking it and making sure everyone likes it would be enough. But if you'd known me for 3 fucking years of live streaming, I guess it's been 2.5 or something. Maybe a little less. No, I mean it was March of 2021, so yeah, 2.5. Like, I don't fucking I don't ask for likes. I don't ask for shares. Like, I give it to you, and I expect you to like it. I expect you to share it. Like all those other motherfuckers, and I'm not just talking about MULN influencers. I'm talking about every YouTube influencer bitch on this planet. The amount of times they cut off their fucking video to beg for likes, subscribers, and fucking Patreon followers is wild. Like, it makes me stop listening to a channel when it's all they fucking do. If they got more than one of those in one of their fucking videos, I fucking just never watch another video from them. That shit is wild. You don't get that shit here, and that's why you should be liking my shit. But no, all the people begging for their shit is always the ones getting it. Like, in a real way, the society's to blame for everything in this world, including me. You guys created all the actors. You guys created their egos. And then you guys created my anger and hatred. For letting these people act like they're something so much to the point that they can't help but think that they're the best thing to walk this fucking earth. All of them. They all think it about themselves. There's only one motherfucker proving it, day after day. Let's go, child labor. Child labor force. Back above 50, what do you know? What do you know? Damn, that volume dropped off. We barely reached the volume we hit yesterday. I thought we were gonna crush yesterday's volume. Alright, I'm going to make a short video to upload just because I got like 50% of my viewers only watch videos I upload. They'll never watch a live stream. So I'm just going to talk about a little stuff today in this live stream. It's a different live stream, but it sounds like I'm still talking to you, but I ain't talking to you. Alrighty guys, so it's been a fun day. It's been a fun week already. And we're going to talk a little bit about everything you need to know MULN. So we already got the data that suggested the volume was so low that the squeeze should have started on Monday. Now you got to ask yourself, what do you think a squeeze is? What is a squeeze? A squeeze is when the price starts moving up and it keeps moving up until retail sells, and then the people on the inside can buy up the shares and start to control the stock price again. But until that happens, we control the stock price, and every time we move up, we are taking money, squeezing money from the institutional establishment. Whether it's banks, whether it's politicians, it don't matter, they're all the same people to us. So what's interesting is that yesterday we went up something like 20% as a high, and then we closed at like just positive 5.5% or something. And then today we've gone up 20% as a high, and ever since we've been like dropping back down, we haven't really fell below 50 cents. And every time we do, like right away, we come right back above 50 cents. And yesterday when we were at a 20% high, we were at 49% was our high for 49 cents was our high for the day. And now we like can't fall below 49 cents since we ran this morning. And so it really does seem like we set a resistance and we broke it. And now we're hanging above that resistance, and we're about to head into the close. And right now we're still currently a tenth of a penny above 50 cents. So like we might close a little bit below 50 cents, but like honestly, the whole idea of staying above 49 cents at this point, which was the resistance of yesterday, is a huge indicator that like tomorrow's going to be green and the day after that's going to be green. And like the way that if like they combined the AMC volume data with the GME squeeze data day after day, week after week, and they kind of compressed it all into one major squeeze. And so AMC had 5 green days in a row. We're right now at 2 green days in a row. Like it looks like we're gonna green day explode and kind of like build into the GameStop type of squeeze where we're seeing 1,000% gains. I mean, GameStop was over 2 days it did 1,000% gains, but like I expect to see it in MULN in 1 day just because the math is way better. Like there is no dilution to hide behind it, and it's a true retail squeeze. We saw that Joe Biden was indicted, or impeachment inquiry was filed today, and it is not being taken back. It will be public. It will be all over the news, just like the Trump one was. And it will be to distract people from real stories happening, but also I do feel like a lot of justice is coming in this world today and in the future. And so I do think Joe Biden might get unelected, but I don't like the idea of Kamala not being impeached as well. If anything, she just needs to be a placeholder and do absolutely fucking nothing until the next election. Yeah, but it just looks like the roosters are clucking. The roosters are coming home. I don't know what the saying is, but whatever the saying is, that's what's happening. Right now, we're just below 50 cents. We got another 25 minutes till market close. I don't think I'm going to make this a 25-minute video. We heard about yesterday in the SEC filing that we bought the Romeo battery technology stuff, and we know that another company paid $150+ million for it, and we just paid $3.5 million for everything they paid $150 million for. So it sounds like that company's going bankrupt, and they just trying to get whatever dollars they can. And MULN is not going bankrupt, and they know that they need to build shit, and this shit can help them build shit, and so shit is good. And we paid $3.5 million for basically $100 million, and that is good business. That's what MULN's been doing for 2 years, and that's why MULN can't be stopped, is because they don't need money to manufacture. Like, they don't need to charge a heavy price for their cars because they got everything for cheap. And so, like, their cost for a car is way cheaper than everyone else's cost for a car because everyone else paid the most expensive engineers and the most expensive everything to build basically the same thing. Maybe they can produce a few more cars, but they can't produce a better car. None of their extra money going into their plants gave them better shit. They got nothing. And so MULN got everything. MULN got the lineup. MULN got the MULN 5RS, the Bollinger, the commercial. Like, the only thing that potentially keeps Elon Musk alive is his semis. Like, if he can just dominate the semi market and everything goes semi-electric and the government gives him a bunch of money to guarantee success and he can afford the MULN batteries and just no one goes to compete, then like maybe MULN or Tesla has a chance in there and the FSD. But outside of that, it looks like Tesla's gonna have to do something big. Like, people are talking about the AI being Tesla. I thought the AI was gonna be part of X, and I thought X was outside of Tesla. Like, I'd be really interested to know which part of Elon's visions are part of the Tesla stock and which ones aren't. But yeah, the only safe bet is MULN. MULN goes up forever all the time. You should be really worried about hyperinflation. They've been hiding the data, lying about the data. You think they're going to tame inflation this time. They're not. Rates are going to go up. Stocks are going to go through the roof. But only a couple stocks are actually going to be enough money where you become a new type of millionaire, a new type of billionaire, a new type of wealth. There is a wealth transfer happening, and it is going to probably about 100,000 different people across the world. And that's all it took. 100,000 people to stand up in the name of MULN, behind the back of David Mitchery, like willing to die with David on everything we do. And we're here, people. Like, it's every day is a green day until we explode. Like, the squeeze has already started yesterday, if you think about it from that perspective. Like, if we look back and we see that every day was green until we hit $100, ain't no one gonna say that the first green day wasn't the start of the squeeze. And if you do, like, you're kind of a bitch for saying that, in my opinion. But if we have like a bunch of red, like if we have one red day, like if we go up to $2 and then we drop to $1 and then we squeeze to 100, like then yes, that one red day does not cancel out that it was all green days to 100, motherfucker. Because like the drop to $1 is still not back to the 43 cents that of the low that we hit earlier this week or last week. So yeah, I mean it's obvious, it's clear. MULN's the GOAT. You suck. Humble yourself. Buy MULN. Don't be a bitch. Hold it forever. Sell only a little bit when it's worth $100 million. Only take out $10 million and you'll be okay. That should be something about your game plan. If you're a real man, you'll buy options. If you're a real man, you got $1 million and you buy options with all $1 million just to fucking make a statement. Just blow up that fucking option chain right now. That's what a real man would do. Alright, good luck, people. We'll see you tomorrow. MULN all the way. That was a pretty good video. How many people can make a 7-minute, 30-second video that good that just like, you're glad you heard it. I'm glad I said it. I'm sure you'll be glad you heard it. We know that injunction relief has been filed. We don't know about a temporary restraining order. It's a TRO, not an RTO. But we don't know about the restraining order, but we know the injunctive relief has been requested in the first original complaint. So, as far as I'm concerned, that's all we need. I don't expect to see an appeal to dismiss, and I don't expect to see a TRO, because I think the injunctive relief is going to handle what we're looking for. Okay. Next. No. Publish. Let's go here. Let's go here. Let's go here. Where we at? Still above 50. Above 50. 350. I want to see 350 by close today. Chickens are coming back home to roost. There's the saying. Bruh. Stop telling me something went wrong. Ain't nothing wrong. Is it all so right? $18 more minutes. Are we gonna hold 50? I don't really care either way, but it'd be cool to see. Especially 49. 49 is more important than 50. Come on. We get the bid and ask. 4988 4999. This is the bid, this is the ask. Let's bump that bid up. Pump it up. Perfecto. Make that money. Alrighty. Yeah, 13 more minutes. That's not too long. So our high today was 54. So yesterday or tomorrow we want to see nothing less than a close above 55. Obviously, we want to see $1 or $100, but I'm just saying, like, we want to go green with a strong trend. And strong trend says new close above yesterday's high, day after day after day after day. To this day. That didn't really apply, but I still like saying it. Oh, Fitty, where are you? 11 more minutes. Let go, let go, let go. Where's the little bit of volume, David? How much longer we gotta wait on the buyback? We're falling. 10 minutes left. Crashing and falling. $49.69. 5 more minutes. How low will it go? $49.19. The fight was never 50. The fight was always 49. $49 is the high of yesterday. The very tippy top of the 20% squeeze yesterday. We want to stay above that. That is the trend that will be our friend. The last 2 or 3 minutes we had a little 3-4% run up yesterday, so hopefully we see that today too. Let's go break that 50 just for the fun of it. $16,000 posts with hashtag Elon Musk is a traitor. But it won't let me pull up any Twitter posts because sometimes it does. Sometimes it says I'm suspended and I'm not allowed to look at Twitter tweets. And then sometimes it says you're suspended but we'll let you look at Twitter tweets. So I don't know what the fuck's going on with them. But right now they're saying I'm not allowed to look. So I don't know if it's the Jewish people getting mad at Elon or if it's the gay people. I don't know. Hopefully it's the Tesla people. Hopefully it's the Tesla investors upset with Elon. They're the ones that have the right to be. I mean, I don't know about how much they have the right to be because they got all the free money already in the last 8 years, but since then, like if you're a new investor in Tesla this year, you are not going to be a happy camper. Uh-oh, they just dropped it below 49. They just broke my 49 mark. Little bitches in the last 2 minutes. We better stay above 49. Little bitch ass motherfuckers. Get him, David. Don't let him break my 49. Still got another minute, 2 minutes, and probably 10 seconds. We got time. Anything can happen. I prefer to see positive 15%. Let's do positive 23% and get to like 57. 56. Let go, MULN. We got 2 minutes. Trying to fight my 49 line. Little bitch asses. Literally wait until the last 2 minutes. What bitch asses. Get it back, David. A little bit more. Final minute. Here we go. 60 seconds. What's going to happen? Ooh, the size on the ask price is going way up. Where's the bid to back it? They're trying to keep it under 49. Little bitch asses. Little pussy ass bitches. Probably got like 20 seconds left. Oh, these little bitches. Come on, David. There's the bid. The bid's starting to climb. Ooh, look at that ask climb. Up to 1,300 on the ask. That's the first. Oh, those little bitches. They fucking stole my 49. Those fucking bitches. Well, 5.5% yesterday, 10% today. That means at least 20% tomorrow. I can't believe they stole my 49. Pussy ass bitches. Alright, guys. I'm done here. I'll see you tomorrow sometime. Maybe, if you're lucky.